well aware of the rising costs of home ownership in this country, a reality that is leading more people than ever to settle for life as a renter. That's why we're launching a brand new series called Rental Redesign. And here to kick it off for us is Christian Dare.
Hey, I know, it's gonna be fun.
So you say it's not necessarily about settling. We should never use that word when it comes to renting.
No.
Renting is actually a very good option right now.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of us know around the world, renting is very common in big cities. Like, people can't afford to own in New York.
Right.
They rent boxes, right? So it's like, in certain cities in Canada, it's gotten tighter that way. And I think we have to think of it more in a positive way.
Yes.
I'm a renter. I'm going to be a renter probably at least for the next 10 years. And it's actually a good thing, even if you think about it. I remember talking to, as I joked earlier, my investment group, which literally is one person, or a Google search. And they literally suggested, because of the property prices in cities like Toronto, if you could pay less for your rent and put the rest of the money in an actual investment, you will get back more than in property right now.
Yes.
Because that giant fast growth is gone. Right?
Yes.
We've already gone that peak. So definitely I think it's a good option. And there's other advantages. You don't have to worry about maintenance. You can call someone to fix things for you.
Yes.
And you can easily move. Right? A year from now, you're like, oh, I want to move across the country. It's way easier than if you own. So
100%. And that's why I'm glad we've been focusing more on rental properties on the show. Because you need to know how to make it look fantastic.
Yeah.
So you recently decided to move. How do you get started hunting for the perfect rental when you're you? When you're a designer and you're used to like beautiful, pretty things, like what do you do?
I think it's an interesting thing because I think we have to talk about how do designers fix spaces after you've gotten them.
Yeah.
But there are tricks of what you should look for when you first find the space to make it more easy to redesign, right?
Okay,
so
okay.
my first trick when I was hunting, because it is a tough market here, go with a real estate agent.
Right.
The pros know, they really do. The one thing I do, I think maybe because I'm like to micromanage, although I claim I don't, I do all my own research, which I think is important.
You should.
Because a lot of the agents, I'll be honest, they care about that $2 million home, not my little rental.
Right.
Right? They want that
Right.
commission. And I get it. I would too. So do your own research. Go to Facebook. Ask friends. Like, a lot of my rentals I've gotten through friends.
Oh,
and I
nice.
say, look for what you need and not necessarily in the area you've been thinking you want to go to. So keep an open mind, right?
Yeah. So did you do that? You kept an open mind? Because they say location, location, location. When it comes to the houses, like, is it the same when it's a rental?
Yeah. So for a rental, I always say, I ignore location. I'm lucky enough that I work for myself, so I kind of can do that.
Right.
I don't have to worry about going to an office. So always think about your commute.
Yeah.
But I always say be open to other neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So, like, I've always been that cool West End kid in Toronto. Not that I'm not cool. And I never dreamed of crossing the Yonge Street line into the East End.
The horror.
Right? What goes on over there?
I don't know. That's where I live, though. It's
Good
fine.
things, actually. Good things. Look outside your neighborhood.
Yeah, I like that you say maybe put work as a priority because the commute can be super tough.
Yeah.
So if you can fix that or make it short for yourself,
Yeah.
do it. Now, what do you as a designer look for in a great rental space? Are you looking for the kitchens and bathrooms like most people are looking for?
Yeah.
Are you looking for a balcony, outdoor space? What do you want?
So, I mean, I think you know me. You know, I don't really cook. I make cocktails. So I don't really need...
Just get rid of the kitchen.
I don't need a kitchen at all. If I had a kitchenette, I'd probably be fine with that too.
Right.
But depending on what you're looking for, it's all about your priorities. And I think that's really important to set what you need. If you're a cook, if you are a food blogger or an Instagram person, you want that beautiful kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Right.
I really don't care about the kitchen as long as it functions and is well made. And the advantages, I've looked at older apartments, some of the kitchens are in separate rooms. So I'm not sitting on my sofa
That's fantastic,
staring at the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I think if I did, I'd want a beautiful, brand new, slick kitchen.
Right.
But for someone who doesn't cook, why would I spend all my money or put all the baskets in a kitchen? Like,
Right.
So depending what you want to do, I didn't look at a great kitchen. It's an 80s kitchen I ended up with.
Perfect.
It's an 80s bathroom I ended up with. I mean, we tell you the 80s are coming back. Trust me. You will see how they come back. So, and then I used to have tons of outdoor space.
Yeah.
I made it beautiful all the time. We saw it on the show. Do you know I sat out there like 2 or 3 times a year, maybe?
Right.
Like, I barely used it, but it looked beautiful. It looked like a beautiful magazine garden, but I didn't go out there. So I didn't look for that. So definitely look for what you're looking for. And I went for space.
Yeah.
I have a partner. He collects records, vinyl records. I have a business. We wanted lots of room. So look at those older apartment buildings. I know they don't look sexy. The lobbies do not look sexy.
Right.
But the 1980s apartment buildings have lots of space, and they're really well built. Like, I don't hear a single neighbor.
Oh, beautiful. All of the older condos and apartment buildings are slightly bigger.
Yep.
They are made to last. You know, I'm always sort of a little bit of side eye when you see a building go up in like 2 weeks. Like,
Yep.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I don't know about this. Okay, so much good info. I'm very much looking forward to how you transform this this space.
Yep.
We're going to follow along, but talk to me a little bit
quickly,
about
I
a
always
checklist.
say I do a checklist.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an A-type personality. I checklist everything. I
Yeah,
check photos
you
of everything. I
should.
video everything. I always say download a standard rental checklist so you know of what you should look for. Do things like turn on the tap, turn on the shower. Does it work well? Try the cupboards. Don't feel like shy about checking out anything that's going to be your place. So do that. But
Yeah.
then as a designer, I have a separate checklist
Okay.
for things that I look for that I
Is this
think
the
you should be
diva
looking
checklist?
for. Well, what did they say? A diva is a female version of a hustler? So I'm fine
There
with
you
that.
go. There
I'm
you
fine with
go.
that. I'll be that.
Yeah.
I always say the thing I look for is it a giant blank white space?
Yeah.
That's actually the easiest thing to turn around versus like, are there weird architectural details? If you want open concept, I always look for lots of natural light.
Yes, that's a good one.
One of the things I also look for that most people don't, I hate overhead fixtures.
Yeah.
I don't want can lights in my ceiling. I don't want anything in my ceiling.
Nothing.
Nothing, because I don't like overhead light. Overhead lighting is not sexy.
It isn't. So you're going to layer all your lighting
Exactly.
throughout.
And then another thing I think people don't think about, I love to collect art. Are there walls?
Yes.
This may seem like a silly question.
Yes.
But so many condos are all glass now, and I have no idea where to put the art.
That's absolutely true. Okay, so you did a little bit of a floor plan.
Yeah. So-
Talk to us a little bit about how it's going to be sectioned off.
Exactly.
How did you decide what was going to be what?
So I always say do quick measurements when you're there, measuring tape or the electric ones, because you need to know. I knew before I even signed the lease what furniture was going where based on the size of each room.
Oh, good.
You can do a quick sketch, and then I
Yeah.
turned it into a computer sketch, a little bit fancier.
Ooh.
Really, it was on PowerPoint, guys. You can do it.
That's very fancy.
And then literally, as you can see, all the rooms were kind of set out by the way they designed it.
Yeah.
But it didn't work for me. And I think this is what everyone needs to do. I'm going to have Tracy design it however she wants to. But like, there was 2 foyers. I don't know what you do with 2 foyers. It feels like wasted space.
Right.
Kitchen has eat-in space, and then a dining room beside it. And then a giant atrium, but that's skinny that I don't want to sit in. So I say, ignore everything besides the bathroom and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you can put anything you want anywhere.
Yes, you can.
So what did you put where?
Okay, so I am going to design my dream apartment. So I've got obviously the bathrooms I'm going to keep the same.
Yeah, easy.
I've added a roller skating room
I like that.
there. And then if you go next door, it's a music studio / club.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be sort of a DJ in residence in
So-
that room. So I can wake up in the morning, I can do like Beyonce, like get it out.
I get it.
Right? And then I wanted a bedroom.
Oh, okay, that's good. You should have a bedroom somewhere.
important,
So what's
too.
funny is you kind of picked some things I did.
Okay, good.
Like my partner collects vinyl and likes to DJ at home. So
Hello?
literally the dining room became the record room.
Yes.
The club.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I have an eat-in kitchen. Why do I need a dining room beside it?
Right.
The atrium is so skinny. We're going to turn it into a dining room because it's
Love
a
it.
long, skinny space.
Yeah.
Right. So I think play around with it. Don't
Yeah.
feel stuck like I must put the dining room here. I must put
Yeah.
that there.
Yeah.
Also, like we'll do things you'll see block doors if you don't need them.
Right.
There's 2 doors in the kitchen. I don't need an entrance and an exit to my kitchen.
Yeah,
No
it's
one's coming
2
to
of
get me.
you. Right.
So you can do things to like redesign the space to make it your own.
So well done. That's a great lesson.